Let's talk about that, man. That Fisker, man. Tell us about the car, man. Let's go check it out.
Let's check it out, man.
You remind me of someone, but I'm not gonna mention who it is. The guy who introduces his welcome to my garage. Knowledge!
Will motivation. Will motivation.
You're watching Will Motivation. Here is where we create, educate, and motivate. Welcome to Will Motivation.
So there he is. This is the man, Kev. Come see him at the toy barn. But I want to talk about his car. So let's talk about that, man. That Fisker, man. Tell us about the car, man. Let's go check it out.
Let's check it out, man. Love it.
What's the year? Tell me everything, man.
Well, if you know about these cars, it's very rare. Not very many of them out there. This one here in particular.
Dang, that's sick.
Special, like I said, special done.
Hey, hold on. Yo, what?
The grid.
Is that really work? Is that
works.
functional?
That charges all the accessories.
Okay, that's killing any functional anything.
Yeah, that's.
He has a functional solar charge. What?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that, bro, on any car.
That's what they charge all the light accessories, everything inside. It keeps that going.
It's got a unique paint job on it too.
Well, that's mine. Hey, this is all done, custom. This is actually a wrap.
Oh, that's a wrap?
It's a wrap, but you never know. It's all.
Where'd you get the wrap done
at? And I'll tell you that.
Okay.
And, like I said, this is all
Carbon fiber.
Done, had all this done.
Dude, I thought that was a paint job.
Yeah, most people think it is. Unless I told you, you don't know. But now you know.
That's pretty good.
But,
so,
hey, yeah, I wanted something different than everybody else has.
it's got a little flake in it, so that's why I thought it was a paint job, man.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Fisker.
Yeah, I just wanted something different. I've always wanted these cars since the day it came out before Tesla. The guy that designed this worked for Aston Martin. He designed the DB8. He also designed the Z8 and the BMW. So he was the designer. He's the one that came up with this kind of body concept. And then after that, he went to work for Tesla as a design thing. And they didn't get along. He decided to branch off and make his own car.
He said,
"Look what it came up."
Yeah,
with.
nasty.
It's a mix of Aston Martin, Aston Martin, a Maserati. It's been called everything but what it is.
That thing is nasty, bro.
So people are always looking like, what is going on?
What year is it?
This is the original year that came out, 2012.
See, I would have thought it was a straight 18.
Well, the 18s look identical.
Yeah, those wheels,
If I
bro.
had 18 next to it, you would know the difference.
Man, those
These
wheels.
are actually these are the 2018 wheels, calipers, everything that's on these. Because now they're called the Karma Rivero. This is called the Fisker Karma.
And it's nasty.
You see that too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to check the peanut butter.
Reese
Reese
cup.
cup. Yeah, we got to check that out.
Here. The solar panel.
You like it?
Digital. Love it.
It's dope.
Love it. It's just a fun car. It's just something different. And,
Is it quick? Is it gonna keep
it's not
up?
as fast as a Tesla. I can tell you that. But it's more style points, ingenuity of just being different.
What is the power plant? What is it?
And this is actually a hybrid, so it is the electric as well as the engine, so I can switch it back and forth. One thing about these cars, the electric only gets about 50 miles.
Oh, okay.
Not like a Tesla, it's 300.
Okay.
But Tesla's 100% electric.
Okay.
It also has an engine, so I can still use the gas part of it and get another 200, 300 miles out of it and use it that way. So this is going to be our trip. This is going to be the longest trip it's been on in Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll be switching back and forth between the two. Now look, what's unique about this car too? Look at the way this hood opens up. Sick.
Oh yeah, that's nasty. Yeah.
See the big
power
boy.
plant.
Yeah, power plant.
Okay.
It's not even a huge engine.
Turbocharged.
Turbo 2.0, believe it or not.
That
With
must-
1,000 foot-pounds of torque.
What?
Yes, sir.
Say that again.
1,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Did y'all hear that?
Bad boy.
He's got 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. So off the line, it's
Look at this thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so it's different,
I mean, I haven't seen one in Columbus. I saw some at the dealership in Miami. But
Miami has it, Cleveland has it.
check out his Scarface crib though. That's really killing the game. That's what's really killing the game. We need to do a MTV Cribs.
Yeah. So you got to walk across the loop.
What? Oh yeah, look at this. Hey man, I think I've been in this crib before.
Oh,
Dude, I've been in this crib before, bro.
you probably have.
Bro. Hold on, man. Let me pause this camera. All right, what's up, everybody? Will Motivation here. Got up early this morning to go check out a potential investment property. I'm looking at it primarily as a possible flip, but it could also be a rental. But man, it's cold, raining, and icy. Anyway, man, look at that ice. We're gonna go do what we gotta do. Yo. All right, look at my window. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I don't really want to be out here in this weather, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Because if this is a flip and it's you know, worth my time, the way I'm looking at the numbers, it could potentially make $30,000 or $40,000 pretty quickly, like 2 or 3 months. So, but look at this ice. So let me figure out how I'm gonna get this ice off my windows. Yeah, I did that. All right,
Take the next right onto McAllister Avenue.
So we're getting close to the property, and I want you guys to take a look at this neighborhood. It's not like the hood.
Take the next left onto Rose Place, then arrive at your
It's kind of like
destination on the left.
what I expected, more or less. There's a lot of little houses over here that I would say are in the like what he's asking for this house, which is $80,000, is exactly what these houses look like. Maybe 90, maybe 100.
You are approaching your destination.
So, you know, now I see some investors. It look like some other investors may be here. But 130,000, I don't know about that, like,
You
so
have
far.
reached your destination.
So this looks like that's it. Yeah. So let me figure out where I'm gonna park at. All right, so I'm not gonna take my regular camera in here because I don't know if they got a problem with me videotaping. But I'm gonna shoot with my my iPhone here. See if I can get some footage for you guys. So let's see what it looks like. All right, so I'm walking into the house and kind of looking in. That's like the living room area. This is like the front door area. I walked into the garage, and first thing that struck me is how small the house is. Everybody likes open concept right now, and this is definitely not open concept. This is like a split level type style. You got to go upstairs. That's a little tiny eat-in kitchen area, and then here's the actual kitchen. I mean, they tried to do a rehab on it. It's like, okay, of course it's a little cluttered with the stuff in there, but I'm just looking around at the finishings and I'm like, am I gonna work with this stuff or am I gonna have to tear everything out? Then, you know, there's a bunch of investors swarming the house looking thirsty, so that kind of turned me off, because usually when I'm looking at a house, I'm the only one. This is a nice big bathroom, but it's not, other than the size of the bathroom, it's not all that impressive. You know, it doesn't look like it needs a whole lot of work, but okay, you got one bathroom. Of course, I wanted to see, okay, there's a little bit of water damage there at the floor, nothing major. You know, it's like, okay, this is all right. It's not super impressive. So where the bedroom's at? So this is like the master bedroom right here. It's right beside the bathroom. It's tiny. I didn't even want to go in there because there's somebody else in there. That's the living room where you come in the house. Like, this is the main living room. It's so tiny that, like, I would say it was less than a 10 by 10. So I went upstairs. But these are the other 2 bedrooms in the house. Tiny bedrooms inside the attic space. And I was like, okay, for me, this was it. Like, okay, I'm not about to pull the roof up and make it bigger, but you see how small it is. Like, it's tiny. And then this is the other bedroom. tiny, man. It looked like a little. I mean, you can't work with that.
Nope.
To make a $130,000 house, you can't work with that. So this really turned me off about the house. So then I went down to the basement. I'm like, okay, maybe there's some more bedrooms or something. I get down to the basement. There's raw basement area, which is to be expected. A bunch of storage space, basically. It's partially finished. Nothing there to see that's going to make me want to invest. So let's break it down.
Okay, so I took a quick look. So a couple of things turned me off about this property. Number one, too many investors. So it could drive the price up potentially. I might make a lowball offer on it. But number two, I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but second thing was, let me get to the car because I met the guy who's the wholesaler, and I don't want him to think I'm just coming up here just to play around. But I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm not feeling about that property and the value. All right, so let me tell you guys the issue I have with this property. So I have some experience with real estate, but even before I had any experience at all, my mind frame as an investor was, what is a potential buyer going to think when they come into the house? Is there any possible wow factor? Are there any possible things about the house that would make it hard to sell at a higher price point? So if we're talking about a price point, for me to make this a safe flip, the price point would need to be around 130,000. I didn't see anything that looked like it would be really like a really expensive repair. Of course, you can't see what's underground with the plumbing, so that's always something that you got to budget for, potentially having some plumbing issues, you know. So I didn't see any major repair issues that kind of turned me off about this property. But what turned me off is when I buy a property, especially for a flip, like I'm looking at this more as a flip than a rental property, especially after what I just saw when I went in there. But the biggest thing was that the house felt small and cramped, and the square footage that makes it one of the bigger houses in this neighborhood, that square footage was in sort of what was the second floor or even the third floor. It's like a split level type of design, but I'll call it the second floor, where there were 2 bedrooms upstairs. The way those bedrooms were laid out and how small that house is, it was more like an attic that was converted into bedrooms, and the wow factor is on the wrong side. Like, there's a good wow and there's a bad wow. So there's a wow when you walk in there and you see that and you're like, wow, like really, like gotta deal with this, versus a wow factor when you walk in and you're like, wow, I didn't expect this, in a good way, right? Well, I walked into those upstairs bedrooms and it was wow in a bad way, because it was like converted attic space, and it was small. Like I grew up in a house where we converted the attic space into bedrooms, and it was a big attic space, huge. That attic space right there is a negative, like because you're gonna be looking at the square footage of the house and you're gonna say, wow, square footage is pretty good in this house, especially for this neighborhood where you know, most of the houses are small. But then you get up there and you look at that square footage, you're like, okay, the ceiling is super low, these rooms are super cramped, and nobody's gonna be excited or happy about the design of those rooms. And the design of the house is not open concept. It's not open concept, and all of the rooms were really small. Just not a good, there's not like a major wow selling point to make that the most expensive house in the neighborhood. It's not, the potential is not really there. So that one for me is a negative, because if we did buy it and we did try to sell it for 130,000, it would be one of the most expensive houses in this neighborhood. And looking at this neighborhood, it's not a bad neighborhood, but all of the houses are tiny. Like, I would say the average house probably over here should be like
$75,000 at the high end. And so trying to sell a house for 150 grand or 130 grand is a stretch. And the design of that house, it would take too much money to, like, what you would need to do in that house is open up the main floor, and the way it's a split level, you can't really do it easily. And then that upstairs, the ceilings need to be higher because it just feels like a small, cramped up attic space. The basement wasn't even worth looking at. I went down there for a hot second. I wasn't impressed. So there's just not, I don't see the opportunity there to make significant, like I said, if I do a flip, I want to make at least 20 grand, and that's cutting it too close. So not worth my time. Somebody else might be able to pick it up and make 10 grand or something like that, but that's not in my risk category, you know what I mean? So that's my assessment of that particular property. Not excited at all about it, and if I do make an offer, it'll be a low offer. So I'll think about it, and maybe we will, like, say, hey, look, we did the numbers and we can buy this house at 60,000 or something like that. But even with that, it's not that impressive. All right, so that's our little walkthrough of physically evaluating property, the kind of things that I look for. I look for the potential, and right there, that house didn't have a whole lot. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Will Motivation, and I just want to get your feedback. Drop me a note in the comments. If you noticed, I split this video up into two main parts. One part of the video was car content, and the other part of the video was real estate content, because as a lot of you guys know that subscribe to my channel, the real estate pays for the cars and the toys. So I like to show people how I'm able to afford, like, the Lamborghini, because I invest in real estate, and I like to kind of just share knowledge that kind of way. So tell me what you guys think of this dual format, where on the channel, of course, we'll feature some car content for the fun of it, but then I also want to drop some knowledge and showcase some real estate or entrepreneurial or business type content. Let me know what you guys think, or if you just think I should just totally split the channel up and put the real estate content on a totally different channel and keep the car content on this as my main channel. All right, let me know in the comments. Peace.